Maybe I should zoom out a little. Are you someone that's trying to overcome fear? So am I. I have literally been living with fear for years. And honestly, I think it has to do with my upbringing of being raised by very strict parents. Now that I'm older, there are so many things that I want to do, but I'm so fearful of doing them. Like, I feel like I don't deserve it. I feel like there's something holding me back, and I feel like I'm just not ready to be perceived. But no, I don't want to keep living a life like that. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that I have personally been doing to try and overcome fear, especially in the new year. As we've all been saying, 2024 feels so different, feels promising. This year, we're really going to focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. The first thing that I've been doing to try and overcome fear this year is exposure therapy. Before I even try and give you a butchered ass definition of what exposure therapy is, I'm actually going to search it up as we speak. Exposure therapy is a type of therapy in which you're gradually exposed to the things, situations, and activities that you fear. There are a few different approaches to this therapy. It can help treat several conditions like phobias, post-traumatic stress disorder, and panic disorder. I have been doing so many things have literally been helping me overcome the fear, and one of my biggest fears is creating content and being perceived. Creating content at home, easy peasy. Like, no one's there to see me. It's just me and my camera. It's just me and the screen. It's just me literally talking to myself in my room. Whereas when I bring that camera outside into the public eye, now that's a different story. If I want to be successful, if I want to be not an influencer, but someone that people could watch and be like, oh my God, she's kind of relatable, I can't do that by recording every day at home. I've been trying to show the things that I do outside of the house too. The thing that I've been doing is going to places and recording in those places. First place that I went to was Michael's. That was really hard. Like, I literally went right after work. It was a Friday. I was actually making content for a YouTube and TikTok video that I plan to post on me getting my nails done, which are these nails that I have on my hands currently. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I had the camera, the tripod, everything in my hand. And it's not a big tripod. You know, the handheld Sony tripods. That's all I had in my hand. But my camera, it's not that big, but with the wide lens on it, it looks huge. Okay. So I'm walking in there. I hide it as soon as I come in. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. More and more I walked around, started talking to myself openly without the camera. I realized, okay, maybe I can whip out the camera. And Michael's is typically empty, at least where I live. It's practically empty. Like, there's literally 5 people in there almost every hour. It's pretty empty around that time. And I'm like, okay, no one's here. I'm in an aisle. I'm looking for something. Maybe I should record myself looking for something, do an intro or whatever. And that's exactly what I did. I whipped that camera out. I was like, happy Friday. I'm at Michael's right now because I am trying to find Hello Kitty nail stickers so I could do my nails today. And I thought I would take you guys with me. This Hello Kitty Sweet Tooth. I decided to just get new filing. So stinking cute. Really, as soon as I left Michael's, I did not hesitate to record because I was supposed to record the actual Michael sign and I couldn't do it because I felt like people were watching me from their cars. After doing all of that, I did not hesitate to record the Michael sign because I was no longer fearful. Like, all that fear that I was feeling originally, it just dissipated. It turned into dust. After that, I'm like, okay, I can keep going. The next place that I did was a cafe. So there was literally 2 other people in there. It took me a good 30 minutes to an hour to actually pull out the camera and start recording in that cafe. Okay, it took a lot, but I did it. Okay guys, I'm doing exposure therapy so I can get comfortable vlogging in public. I'm currently at a cafe. I'm so scared to do this. But I am editing the footage right here. I got some coffee and then I also got a muffin. I'm trying to show you guys. There's not a lot of people in here, so that's why I decided to do this. Super cute. Because it felt liberating. Like, as soon as I finished doing it, you ever just felt like a weight was lifted off your shoulders? Just fell off my shoulders and I felt like, oh my God, I could keep doing this. I could keep going. I did it in my car, and I have a fishbowl car. I don't have tits, so people could see me with that big ass camera. Okay, I did it in my car. I'm recording whatever, and I'm like, Okay, it's getting better. It's getting better. I don't know how people set cameras up in their car, but I really have to do this really quick. Just left the cafe and I spent like 3 hours there. The next place that I whipped this camera out of was, I can't remember. Oh, Savers. I went thrifting recently last weekend. That, you know how Savers get. You know how the thrift store gets. Okay, it gets packed. I was in there. The first 13 minutes that Savers was open, I was in there with my camera. That camera was on the carriage. It was really hard to set it up, but I had it on the carriage. I was recording, and it was so nerve-wracking because there was already people there, and I didn't know if they were looking at me because I wouldn't make eye contact, but I had my headphones on to give the illusion that I was literally in my own world and I'm recording. And then as I started thrifting more and searching more and realizing that these people do not care, like they're literally trying on clothes in the literal aisle because, you know, Savers closed their fitting rooms, so they're trying on clothes in the aisle. They do not give a crap. So I'm gonna whip my camera out, and that's exactly what I did. I was recording what I was gonna buy, whatever, and I did not care, and it felt so good. Like, obviously, you know, at least 1, 2, 3 people looked at you with that camera, but they didn't come up to you, they didn't harass you. And I just realized that, oh my god, I could do this. I could literally do this. Most recently, the next place I did it was at another cafe. Now this one was kind of hard because it was a black owned cafe. Workers were just too attractive for me to be having a camera. I was like, no, I cannot be perceived right now. But like, one of them actually complimented my jacket, and then I got another compliment of my outfit, and I realized, you know what, ever since I've been doing this, not only am I overcoming my fear, but I'm feeling more confident every time that I go out. Like, especially as I've been honing in on my style, I've been feeling so much more confident to record in public, to take pictures in public, to talk to myself in public, because nobody cares. I look good, I feel good, so who's gonna stop me? And so that's one thing that I've been doing in order to overcome my fear of being perceived, and that is exposure therapy. The next thing that I do to try and overcome fear, well, I haven't really done it as much as I should be doing, but I ask myself why I'm fearful, write it down, and write down any possible outcomes that could happen from being perceived by people. Once I have it written down, and once I actually say it out loud, I'm like, okay, that's actually not as bad as my mind making it out to be. Your mind is your biggest enemy. Okay, I hate to say it, but our mind plays the biggest tricks on us. Like, when I say biggest, I mean, it makes you so delusional. You really think these things are gonna happen when in actuality they're not. I feel like we really just overthink to the point where it makes us scared. It literally maximizes our fear to the point where we can't do anything. I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I'm a chronic overthinker. Anxiety, especially the older I get, and realizing that I really did not live the way I was supposed to live as a teenager to experience all these things to prepare me for adulthood. As I'm getting older, being an adult, it's been getting harder because I'm supposed to be able to do all these things, but because I wasn't able to do it as a teenager, I have no skills, okay? I have no experience with it. Like, well, I'm freaking 24 and I'm too scared to do this, I'm too scared to do that. I don't want to live like that anymore. The thing that I've actually really been struggling with is going to the gym. I kid you not, as soon as I stepped into the gym, my anxiety is on 10,000. I already struggle with my body, so having to go into an environment that's supposed to be helping me reach a point where I can love my body, but also placing myself in an environment where I compare myself to other people, or I feel like people are judging the way that I work out, or I fear that I don't look the way that I'm supposed to. It just makes me not want to be at the gym. And then I'm like, oh my god, people are probably laughing at me. They're probably saying I stink. Because you know, when you start working out, you start to stink. Okay, so all these things are running through my head, but in actuality, nobody at the gym cares. Right. So the last thing that I do, well, I actually don't do, but it's something that you should do if you can, because personally, I feel like I handle things better on my own. But the last thing that you should do is call someone that you trust while doing something that makes you anxious. So I don't necessarily do that, but an alternative for me is to listen to music. I've been finding a lot of new artists lately, and a lot of them are Black artists, and it's like alternative R&B, jazz, and stuff like that. And it's very calming and it's very soothing instead of having the pop, the rap, the K-pop in my ears like I used to. I've definitely been leaning more towards into that. I don't know if it has to do with my age, but I can't do the little loud music as much. Like I could only do it like if I'm going to the gym or if I'm actually hype and I need hype music. You're gonna catch me listening to like Cleo Soul or oh my god, what is that artist? I can think of is Cleo Soul because she's my number one. I'll put my playlist out because I feel like I have a decent amount of songs. My playlist is currently 4 hours and 58 minutes, almost 5 hours, spooky, yes. But Cleo Soul, Chloe and Halle, they have some very beautiful music out there. Ramon, Nio, Liza, she's so underrated to me. Oh my god, I love her music. There's Mahalia, Vina. If you're not listening to Ravina, hold on. It's too late to hold me tight. You're missing out on good music. But basically lean more towards music in order to help me get through anxious situations, especially situations like the gym. I've been feeling a lot more confident lately at the gym. Like I've been alternating between the women's section because my gym has a women's section and the public section, and I've been alternating and I feel like it's been allowing me to get more and more comfortable in the gym because when I'm at the gym I do not look in the mirror. Okay, I can't look in the mirror. I feel like body wise I don't fit in, and so I never look in the mirror. I will literally purposefully pick spots without a mirror because you don't really need a mirror to work out. Lately I've been challenging myself. Just look in the mirror like every 5 minutes or something. Just look up, take in my body, do a little twisty like the girlies in the mirror checking themselves out, and then move on. Regardless of that, one thing I always try to tell myself is that this is a journey and it's not a race. I can't just be doing these things and in 30 days expect myself to be fixed. It's not how therapy works, especially therapy that you're doing without an actual professional. I'm no professional, okay? When you're doing your own form of therapy, it's gonna take time. It takes a while to slowly realize how much that you have progressed, how much you have grown, and how much your mindset has become something in which you don't feel like you need to compare yourself to someone. You don't feel like you need to question if people are going to judge you for doing this or that. I don't want to feel that way anymore. Like I'm literally about to be 25 this year. Sorry, I had a minor stroke when I said that. I'm literally about to be 25 and there are so many things that I know I'm gonna do, I know are gonna happen. And the only way for them to happen is if I keep doing what I'm doing now. I just don't want to live in a life of fear, and I know you don't either. So I really hope that you take these 3 things that I've given you and you implement them. You start to implement them into the lives and you customize them to work for you. Just because I'm saying, oh, you should do these 3 things doesn't mean that you have to. If you find better things to do, then even better. Like literally anything you feel and you know is gonna help you overcome fear, then you should do what works for you.